Are we live? Connect. Oh shit. Don't do that. I think we're live. On this monumental day for PSVR 2. Where do we start? We could start with the blog. We could start with the price. You want to know the price? Easy. You want to know the release days? No problem. You want to know when you can pre-orders? It's all been revealed today. On top of new games. I just got out of the shower, gone onto this, and things are going crazy. Things are going nuts. I'm not even sure. I panicked. I got on the laptop so fast. Games are dropping. Games are being revealed. A bundle has been revealed. I just want to make sure I'm live. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, I'm live. Good. Let's start by reading the blog. Superfly, how you doing? So, PlayStation VR 2 is launching in February at $549.99. And that's not the worst part for Europeans. So pre-orders for the PSVR 2 headsets, games, and PSVR 2 Sense controller charging station. That's a new thing they've announced. Coming later this month. This is from Isabel Tomatas, Vice President of Brand, Hardware, and Peripherals at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Over the past several months, we've introduced PlayStation VR 2 and provided glimpses into the next generation of virtual reality gaming. God, I've got a cold, so I'm struggling to breathe. Which will allow you to escape into new worlds while feeling a groundbreaking sense of immersion. Today I'm very pleased to announce that PlayStation VR 2 is officially launching on February 22nd. Did I put February 21st in the title? I might have. I'll have to fix that if I did. Sorry about that. PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller charging station, designed specifically for PSVR 2 Sense controller, will also launch the same day. Here is the PSVR 2 lineup and recommended retail pricing for each product. Availability in each country is subject to local import regulations. So this is what the box looks like with just the headset and the controller. So we do have confirmation in case you were wondering that the controllers will be included with the headset. I don't think you can buy them separately. Well, you can probably buy the controllers separately, but I don't think you can get the headset without the controllers. Not that you would want to. So, dollars, $549.99. Euro, which is what sucker over here has to pay, 600. Superfly, Jesus.
Just donated 50 through Super Chat.
50 crisp
That's
ones.
Very moist. Been a minute since I've seen you live.
Thank you so much.
Yellow heart.
This is an exciting day. Superfly, and this is giving me a good chance to check out everyone else in the chat. We got Zach Wilder, who knew they'd sneak in an extra $49 reduce on us. How about the extra fucking €99 that snuck on the European price, huh? Superfly will be first in line. Tradition says, I'll try and get a pre-order, but it's a spicy price. It is. And I don't think you're going to have trouble getting the pre-order, to be honest, at that price. Solid Justice says, can't wait. Bit more than I expected. Still going to get us. Straight to the VR2 fund, exactly, yeah. I'm no longer concerned about the price of the PSVR 2, thanks to Superfly. Thank you very much, Mr. Superfly. Anyway, so that's $549.99 dollars for the Americans, €600 practically. It's a cent off for the Europeans. We'll say 530 sterling, and then you got 75,000 yens, which is kind of, well, I guess that affects Tradition, who's living in Japan. Including tax. So that includes PSVR 2 headset, the PSVR 2 Sense controllers, and stereo headphones. Ooh. Alright, that's interesting. I didn't know it was going to include headphones. But of course the controllers have to be driving up that price. Without the controllers, you can bring that down to more PSVR 1. When you think about the PSVR 1, don't forget you had to buy the camera separately. You had to get the Move controller separately. Anyway, they're showing off a Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle. Sorry about the coughing. The more excited I get, the more I want to cough. So I'm sure people will be happy to see this. Could be the killer app for PSVR 2. Hopefully, it'll be the PSVR 2's like version of PlayStation VR Worlds. I think it's the one you want to start people off in. And if you want to get that bundle, that'll add a $50 redo markup on the prices. So that would be $600 for that bundle. It'll be €650 and $570 sterling. And that includes a voucher code. So it's not a physical copy, it's a voucher code to download it, and the same as the rest. And then down here, you've got the VR Sense controller charging station, which looks, I don't know, I guess kind of looks sleek, futuristic. Let me go back, see what you're saying. Hold on a second, let me test this out. Forgot to do that. Decepticon says February 22nd, about time. I was certain it was going to be March, so that's a plus for me. Earbud headphones again, says Tradition. How much was recommended retail price of PSVR 1 camera and moves at launch? I don't know about all of them together. Could you get them all together at launch? Was there a bundle that included the camera? We got the dates, says Muzz. We do. We got the juice. We've got the juice, Muzz. Man, this price is going to be divisive, though. It's going to be divisive. That's what you're going to be hearing about. Anyway, we're not finished. So that's the hardware. And the charging station will set you back another 50. So let me explain this to me. Why is the charging station $50 and €50? There's parity there. But there's not parity with the price of the actual headset. Why is that? Why is there no parity there? Can anyone explain that to me? You know, I'm a salty European over here, but still. Standalone software titles, including Horizon Call of the Mountain, will also be available for pre-orders starting this month. More details will be provided at a later date. During this initial launch phase for our next-gen headset, players in the US, UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg will initially be able to pre-order PlayStation VR 2 solely through PlayStation's online store at direct.playstation.com. Hey, where's Ireland? Pre-orders will begin on November 15, and players may begin to register for pre-orders starting today. Orders from directplaystation.com for PSVR 2 headsets and bundles will ship through the week of launch. In other markets, PlayStation VR 2 will be sold at participating retailers, with pre-orders beginning on November 15. Information will be provided through participating local retailers in these regions. PlayStation VR 2 Sense technology includes key features that enable unique gameplay experiences, such as blah blah blah. I mean, we know this stuff already, so I'm just blah blah blahing through it. Together with compatible games that will captivate players' senses and offer incredibly deep feeling of immersion. Additionally, with the enhanced headset-based controller tracking and high-fidelity visuals in 4000 by 24, that's 4K, PSVR 2 adds a true next-gen gaming experience for players to enjoy. We've created a PSVR 2 headset with comfort in mind and a slightly slimmer and blah blah blah. I'm sorry about the coughing. Lens adjustment, yeah, we know all this. Here we go. Today, we are also pleased to reveal additional titles coming to PSVR 2 with fresh new reveals on new titles that are currently in development for PSVR 2. Read our announcement here. We will open that link right now. 11 new PSVR 2 games. Okay, it's exciting. I haven't looked at that. I don't know the games. I've seen one of them. No, I've seen two. One of them is like Rush of Blood 2 practically, and the other one is Hello Neighbor or something. Anyway, it's exciting to see how game developers are taking advantage of PSVR 2's headset features to design the next gen of VR games. We're expecting more than 20 titles at launch, and we can't wait for February when PSVR 2 launches so players will give it a try. We'll have more details on our launch game lineup in the future, so stay tuned. Remember Firewall Ultra? That screenshot? Where people, I can't remember who it was, somebody in the chat said, was it Zoner? That the screenshot looked like the 21st of February 23 with the display. It kind of looked like it was giving a hint. These are the specs, which I think we already know. Is there anything new here? Sensors, cameras, feedback, buttons. Track-in, feedback port, USB Type-C port, Bluetooth version 5.1, battery. Okay, it doesn't give you an estimate on how long the battery lasts for, which would be nice to know. Before we go into the games, let me check the comments. What are you saying? Excuse me. Tradition says 460 for PSVR 1 and PS4 camera on day one. And moves were initially cheap used. So all in cost isn't massively different. And I found that I got a bundle of I couldn't find used move controllers. I had to buy like a new pack for like €80 for a 2-pack of move bundles. Alright, let's move on to the 11 new games, shall we? The Dark Pictures Switchback VR, Sissies VR, Enhanced Edition, Crossfire, Sierra Squad, and more. That's not the Xbox Crossfire, is it? Alright. No Half-Life Alyx, I've noticed. This is from Sean Benson, Director, Head of Portfolio Global Third-Party Relations. I can't speak. Okay. We've showcased just some of the games coming to PSVR 2 next year, such as Horizon, Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village, and more, but there's yet more titles to reveal. Today we're happy for developers of 11 new PSVR titles to share their first information of the experiences that you'll be able to enjoy after PSVR 2 launches on February 22nd. I must say I'm surprised that Supermassive Games are making another PSVR game. I didn't think this was happening. Ah, don't be a bitch. That's not my real date of birth, by the way. Before you get your hopes up. Let's have a look. Switchback. Listen, Rush of Blood was an excellent game. That looks like it could have been Rush of Blood 2. It looks like it could have been running on a PSVR 1. I know I don't want to be too critical. Didn't wow me, you know. Have they said when pre-orders will be live? Ask Zach Wilder, November 15. At least for the regions they listed for direct.playstation.com. You can order it online. If you're in one of the other regions, you have to go to your local participating retailers, which should also be November 15 when they fire up their cylinders. Fozzie Bear, hello everyone. How you doing, Fozzie Bear? Zach says thanks. No problem, Mr. Zach the Lego Maniac. I don't know how to feel about this game. Switchback VR. Nothing about that screamed next gen viewer for me. But it's a quick trailer, a minute long. You know, let's read what it says about it. Don't blink, immerse yourself in this fast-paced roller coaster action horror shooter where every move you make and everything you see could mean the difference between life and death. Experience the thrill of the most nightmarish VR roller coaster action shooter enhanced by the innovative features of PlayStation VR 2 and set inside the sinister world of the Dark Pictures anthology. Switchback VR will take players for a multi-sensory ride on where they'll need to survive the terrifying ghost ship and its distorted apparitions, confront hideous demonic incarnations of persecuted witches in 17th century New England, and then fight for your life against otherworldly vampires trapped beneath the desert. Finally escape the horrifying World's Fair Hotel with a sadistic serial killer out for blood and discover how your story connects these worlds on a sinister roller coaster from hell. So every single dark picture anthology game is being represented in this. So if you're into those games, and I haven't played a single one, you'll get something extra out of it. Endure every bump, twist, turn, and drop as your cart speeds along the tracks with haptic feedback, bringing that roller coaster feeling to life. Adaptive triggers make each weapon feel unique as you unload on terrifying enemies that emerge from the shadows. Avoid falling beams, overturned buses, and hanging witches. Headset feedback ensures that you'll feel it if you don't. Oh, because you'll hit it. Yeah, I get it. With PSVR 2 headset eye tracking, we've met enemies that only move when you blink. Now that's cool. There's the next gen. There's that next gen feature I was looking for. Cool. Let me highlight that because that's cool. Good job, Supermassive Games. And hear demons whisper in your ear with the PS5's 3D audio. It's your own personal nightmare where each track has multiple terrifying paths. No two runs will be the same, but each will test your reactions in this terrifying VR horror experience. What is that? Don't make me laugh, please. And that's from Alejandro Arc Gallardo, game director of Supermassive Games. Any thoughts on this? Tradition says you can register for pre-order invites on PS Direct now. Wasn't live a few minutes ago. Is now. But you have to be in the participating region or the available region. So UK, US, and whatever else, like Belgium, Luxembourg. Not Ireland, unfortunately. Roy Schwartz is peeping. His eyes are going to be tracked in VR 2. Right, next game is Crossfire Sierra Squad by Smilegate. Let's have a look, shall we? Whoops. Play. What are you doing? Play. Yeah. It's looking nice. Destruction. Dual wielding. Scopes that work. Thermal vision. Oh, nice. Is that a co-op, buddy? There you go. Very cool. Alright. That didn't look too bad. Let's read about it, because I don't know, is it just single player, is it co-op? What are we doing here? Greetings, mercenaries. We at Smilegate are thrilled to announce that we're working on a brand new VR game called Crossfire Sierra Squad. First-person shooter incorporates innovative features offered by PSVR 2, planned to launch on PSVR 2 in 2023, so maybe not a launch title, but sometime next year. Soon you'll be able to drop into the world of Crossfire in full VR, taking the fight to dimensions, yes, unseen. A battle-focused shooter, Sierra Squad will have you fighting a seemingly endless enemy force with high AI intelligence. It's a fast-paced, easy-to-learn FPS. We can't wait to show you what we're working on. Plays the leader of an elite team in the middle of a war over a top-secret biochemical weapon that has recently been discovered. Who's responsible, blah, blah. I don't care about the story too much just yet. Drop into the action, blah, 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 blah. Quality maps, blah. Crossfire has been accustomed to now. I'm looking for, like, is it co-op single player? What is it? Blacklist global risk in a variety of indoors and outdoor battle scenes with over 60 campaign missions will keep you riveted. 60 campaign missions. That seems beefy. Our goal is to make you truly feel the impact of this arcade shooter. Weapons you'll find to use in Crossfire Sierra Squad are also varied as you would expect. 39 types of weapons, including pistols, rifles, throwables, and throwbackables. Grenades and sniper rifle with revolutionary scope mechanics give you plenty of options to dispatch 17 types of enemies. Revolutionary scope mechanics. You'll also engage with heavy artillery like helicopters, LAVs in full 360 viewer space, so make sure you keep your head in a swivel. Enemies you'll face aren't just unintelligent NPCs, they'll have acute AI, so clearing them out won't be easy. If you need help, recruit a friend, or 2, or 3. And jump into large-scale co-op play. There we go. Coordinating attacks with teammates is really fun, especially when you learn how to communicate via real hand signals through finger touch detection in-game, and the boss fights get super intense. Boss fights. We are working hard to create a game experience that will suit players new to VR as well as VR veterans by incorporating several modes, including arcade mode, realism mode, and hardcore mode. And if you are the competitive type, you'll probably find yourself fighting to be on the global leaderboards so the world can see your accomplishments. Our goal is to bring all fans of military blah 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 together, blah 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 blah. Solo or co-op with up to 4 players on a team. For a second there I was worried it was going to be Bravo team, but it looks like it's going to have loads of content and options. Jason Ewan is here, says howdy everybody. How you doing, Jason Ewan? Deej says he's alive. I am. She let me out of the attic. Jason Ewan says I'm getting really moist this morning. And Space Denizen says getting effing hyped effers. Oh no, he says get effing hyped effers. The only thing harsh on my hype right now is that price, but other than that, getting pretty hyped. Next game, the Light Brigade. Right, let's give it a watch. Damn, I need to stop double clicking that. That's really messing me up.
Half a league. Half a league. Half.
That said PSVR or PSVR 2 required. So this is a PSVR 1 game as well, it looks like.
League onward. All in the Valley of Death. Road the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Charge for the guns, he said.
Quick prayer to Jesus to open the door.
Into the Valley of Death. Road the 600.
The Light Brigade. I'll be honest with you, not doing anything for me. That one did not do anything for me. Didn't get my nipples stiff. I like your logo, though. That's a good logo. Okay. I don't know if that's doing anything for anyone. It's not for me. What is this wannabe in-depth shit, says Space Denizen. It's not doing anything for Space Denizen either. Maybe we'll get more details and it'll enlighten us. I like the prayer mechanic. That's kind of cool. Anyway, let's read about it. It's roguelike. Experience filled with immersive game gunplay and moody mystery. The world lies in the ruins, blah 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 blah. Yeah, magic. Rifles and magic. Atmospheres experience. Gunplay, shootouts, climb the ranks, blah blah blah. Cross-buy title for PSVR 2 and PSVR. Alright. Next up, Sissy's VR. We know about this. I'm not going to watch this. From Fast Travel Games. If you want to see fit, it's available on other platforms. Enhanced Edition, we'll read what it adds. Small hamlets to grand metropolises. Design road networks, manage your city's finances, blah 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 blah. With Powers PS5, we're able to bring you great detail, allowing you to watch your city come alive all the way from the bustling streets to a bird's eye view and a smooth experience. With the help of the PSVR 2 sense controllers, the building of your city has never felt more responsive. I mean, I get the gist of it. Launches alongside PSVR 2 next year, so that's a launch title. So there you go. Next up, oh my god, Cosmonius High from Alchemy Labs. They've got a good pedigree with VR. Let's have a look. Crude humor.
Welcome to Cosmonius High, a wonderful place for the brightest young minds in the galaxy. Your attendance here is momentous. Now is the time to explore your sense of wonder.
Warning! The cafe has been commandeered by students!
Oh, you're like a walking prank machine. Love this powers thing.
Something strange is happening at Cosmo High, and the new kid and I will find out what.
You're charging me €600 for a headset. You gotta wow me with these games. You have to start wowing me with these games. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not reading this. Although I appreciate the bullet points. All of these should have bullet points. Hello neighbor, search and rescue. What you got? What you got? PSVR or PSVR 2 required, so we got another cross-gen. Another game held back by PSVR 1. But at least it's got a spooky atmosphere. Although this does not seem like gameplay to me. The movements are too smooth, it looks a bit too scripted. Obviously the way that the breathing is done. Now, here we go. Now this is actual gameplay. You can give people the thumbs up. And more thumbs up. Oh, finger guns, sorry. We're deciding not to include any sound effects from the game. Let's keep it nice and quiet and just have this ominous music playing. Interesting choice. Wow. They made this trailer. They're like, oh shit, the blog post is going live in 20 minutes. Throw some fucking gameplay together, quick. Jesus, lads. Space Denson says, show us Corix 2, that's the one we need. That's what we're paying 600 for. Only hype game is Rush of Blood 2 and Firewall. Is Firewall in this list? Don't spoil it for me. Don't spoil it for me yet. If this is a Firewall update. Blah 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 blah. Creepy house, blah blah blah. I'm just looking for a release date basically. Cross-buy and release, we share lots of exciting news, blah blah blah. Alright, I don't think they gave a release date there. Next up, Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. With no video. This is an image. Cool Velociraptor, cartoony hands. Working with dinosaurs has been a dream come true for the team at Coatsink. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection is a passion project for many of us, and we are so excited to be bringing it to PSVR 2 in 2023. This reworked version of the popular survival adventure game combines both Part 1 and Part 2, I never heard of these games, into one complete collection set between Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Okay, well you got no gameplay, you've got nothing to show me. Targeting 4K at 90 frames. Taking advantage of rumble and 3D audio. Okay, Pistol Whip. Isn't Pistol Whip already on PSVR? Is it just that they're announcing the port? An enhanced version of the game will introduce more depth and dimension to the blood pumping action with the headset feedback and haptic feedback, so it's an enhanced edition like Sissy's VR. Re-experience Pistol Whip like never before. Feel the rush of a bullet grazing your head, the clicks of reloading your gun, and more realistic vibrations when firing. Okay, but it's still the same game. Alright, I'm not crazy excited about that. Zenith, again, the same thing again. Not reading this. Don't even expect me to read it again. Another port of a PSVR 1 game. Although, these guys are bought by Zuckerberg, aren't they? Or were they bought by somebody else? Maybe they were bought by a different group. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Next up, Tentacular. Let's give this a watch. Oh boy.
Welcome to the
600
island
euro.
of La Calma,
€600 down
a
the fucking
docile
drain.
place that harbors one of the most rare forms of life on our beautiful planet. A creature the islanders call the monster.
They yet to be the monster. Alright, this could be good.
The fearful asymmetry of the purple appendages hides an incomprehensible
Oh, it's
strength.
Tumble. It's Tumble VR2.
Yet in the monster there is a sense of something else. Pleasure in the joy of glorious physics. Not all here fear the monster. Many have befriended the creature. Friendship, it seems, is possible even between the most unlikely of organisms. Perhaps we deem things monstrous because they remind us of the monstrous parts of ourselves. This tentacular island shows us how much common ground all living things share. We all seek a greater understanding of our world and of where we come from.
VR is dead. VR is dead. Forget about it. Forget about it. I'm going to start covering flat games from now on. Look at this. I'm not reading all that. Was that 11 games? That wasn't 11 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're telling me it's €600 and then you're showing me these 11 games. Alright, I'm giving a pass to Rush of Blood, Switchback, whatever. And maybe the Crossfire game. I'm not giving a pass to anything else. Nobody else is getting a pass, alright? I know we got Resident Evil 8. Excellent. And I know we got Firewall Ultra, of course. That's going to be excellent too. But there's no updates on those games. I don't know when they're coming out. Are they coming out at launch? Like, what am I playing when I buy this day one for €600? You want me to play Pistol Whipped Enhanced Edition, Sissy's Enhanced Edition, more ports, cross ports that are held back by PSVR 1. That's what you want me to do. That's what you want me to do. Lads, what do you ask? What do you ask? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be too negative. We got a release date. The release date is sooner than I thought. I thought we were going to get it in March. We're getting it in February. I'm happy about that. That's a good thing. €600. In my mind, anything more than 500 was always going to be difficult, I think, to get this into like mainstream hands. I don't know how they're going to do it. They're not going to do it by showing these games. Excuse me. Just want to warm up the chest. That's why I cough into the t-shirt like that. No heating in these parts. Deej says, did they show any more Horizon? They did not. They showed a Horizon bundle. So you can buy a Horizon bundle for PSVR 2. That'll add a 50 sterling or pounds or euro, dollars, whatever, onto the price of the PSVR 2. But no more footage or anything like that was shown off, which is fine. I don't want to see any more Horizon. I think we've seen a good bit of it, and we're getting close enough to launch now that we don't really need to see anything. I can wait until like January for a launch trailer or something like that. Would have been nice to see more Firewall. However, due to the nature of that game being multiplayer or whatever, maybe it was difficult to get a footage ready for it on time. I mean, there's no multiplayer games here other than the co-op in Crossfire. But there is no PvP games that they showed off here. Most of this is like small, single player. I mean, it feels very Generation 1 VR. You know? Again, I feel like I'm being very negative. But I don't know, I'd be surprised to see that people are like crazy excited about this. What's people on Twitter saying? What's the Twitterverse saying? AJ's getting Rush of Blood. getting Rush of Blood 2 makes me want to cry, so he's happy about that. Well, of course it's day one. It's going to be day one for all of us in the VR scene. No doubts about that. Gigadad, if your post about PSVR 2 has to do with its price being $50 more than Quest 2, but you bought a Quest Pro, I'm not listening to you anymore. Well, of course, Questicle's opinions are irrelevant. Jamie Feltham, 549 is a fair bit higher than I'd expected, but it's another sign of the times. I'm mostly excited about the very solid lineup of PSVR 2 titles coming our way next year. I put 2 of these games into a solid lineup title. Maybe Hello Neighbor. Maybe this one could be good. You know, I'm expecting Dark Pictures, especially the way they're using eye tracking. That's exciting. That could be good. Crossfire looks like it could be fun as well, and it looks like it has a lot of content to it, which is good. Dr. Greg says, considering the PSVR 2 is a true next-gen headset, $550 is a steal compared to the Quest Pro. Mike, Virtual Reality Oasis, says PSVR 2 will be launching... Alright, yeah, he doesn't give an opinion on it. Or does he? What's he say inside? 2 bundles, cherry... Okay, he's just giving information. Yeah. John Linneman from Digital Foundry. So he's replying to MVG, says $550 is about right for a VR headset. The tech specs are very impressive and I think it will do well. It's still missing that killer app that I would have hoped to have seen in the launch lineup. And he says, yeah, this is a tricky one. It's expensive, but compared to other high-end headsets, it's reasonably priced. That doesn't make it a good mass market price though. PSVR was $399, but kinda low tech and did not include controllers. This is high-end plus hand controllers. So yeah, I mean, I can't be too hard on the price because it does include the hand controllers, the Sense controllers, 2 of them, and like they're full of, you know, they're like little mini dual senses. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. PlayStation showing off these games. I mean, look how similar that looks to Rush of Blood though. I mean, I shouldn't be judging it based on, like, you know, a low res flat screen version. 11 new games announced. Which, yeah, a lot of ports there. Nothing's really blowing my tits off. I don't know. Duke says, hey Pumpkin, are you looking forward to trying No Man's Sky on PSVR 2? I am, actually. I have a bad relationship with No Man's Sky where I've always gone back to try it again, and then I get frustrated with it, and then I go into that creative mode where you've got like unlimited resources and stuff, and then I get bored because I've done that. So hopefully I can give it another fairer shot when the PSVR 2 version comes along. Deej says scalpers could easily kill this headset. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be as in demand as the PS5 was. Like, if I was a scalper, I'd be like, you know. But just in case, get yourself registered on the pre-order websites or whatever. Duke says, I'm buying it mainly for No Man's Sky. Well, I suspect it's going to be a free update for No Man's Sky. Like, you won't have to buy it again, I don't think. Priscilla Quinn, how you doing? How are they planning on doing this when you can't get a PS5 exactly? It's a fair enough point, although that they have confirmed that they have sold 25 million PS5s. So there's 25 million PS5s in the wild. They're planning on having 2 million PSVR 2s at launch, so there's a pool of players there already. And from what I'm hearing, I mean, it depends on where you are in the world, of course, but PS5s are starting to become more and more available. I'm starting to see more and more pictures of them, like on store shelves and stuff like that. Production is picking up. That was 10 hours ago. Tom Warren. He's an Xbox guy though. Register. Yeah. Listen, you can scroll Twitter yourselves, I suppose. Fozzie Bear says you can buy PS5 from Sony right now. Well, there you go. I assume in America anyway. I don't know where Priscilla Quinn is from. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about here? What's your thoughts on this? I mean, I feel conflicted feelings right now. I mean, there's obviously the hype that, yes, it's real, it's coming, it's got a date, it's got a price. Is the price a bit too much? Not too much for me. It's not too much probably for most of you who are like VR enthusiasts and we're always going to get us no matter what. But keep in mind, we want this to go mainstream. We want as many people to buy this as possible so that there can be a PSVR 3. With that in mind, is that price not concerning? I mean, it's concerning for me. And then there's the lineup. I don't think any of these 11 games are more impressive than what we already seen. So I'm not trying to shit on all these games, of course. But nothing here is standing toe to toe with Resident Evil 8 Village. Nothing here is touching Firewall Ultra. For me, personal opinion, of course. Priscilla Quinn says, yeah, I also haven't seen any particular PSVR 2 games that blow me away either. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Horizon, Call of the Mountain, another decent looking one. But of course, we already knew about this. What I really wanted to see today was a Half-Life Alyx announcement. If you want to talk about ports, then go for the big ports. You know, how about a Phasmophobia port? These games are like super popular on PC. That's what I wanted to see. Not, you know, well, I'm not going to shit in any particular game. Deej, it's a good price, but not hyped for day one. I need more Sony. So what if Village and Firewall are day one games? Does that change for you? Chairface says, is this Farilla? This is Farilla. Vanilla Gorilla. Alright. It's all real, Chairface. It's happening. Let's go back. Let's go back so we can confirm the details once more. February launch. The price is $549.99. Pre-order starting November 15. What's the actual days? Is it February what? Oh, February 22nd. So it is 22nd. Where did I see February 21st? I'm very confused. I saw February 21st was written somewhere. I've got a genius idea. Feb. There's 4 mentions of February. So February's up there. It's there. It's there. And so, okay, so it is February 22nd. February 21st is in my head for some reason, but February 22nd is the date. And you pre-orders open November 15. And you can register your pre-order now, or you can like register your interest in the pre-order now. Dang, son, says Chairface. Juke says Firewall. Fuck. Sorry. Very sorry about that. Juke says Firewall will be day one. I feel it's in my waters. Juke, I hope you're right. I hope to God you're right. Because if it's just these 11 games, those are day one. I mean, a couple of those are decent, but you know, you want a really exciting one. Horizon's going to be day one as well, so that'll sort you out too. Priscilla Quinn says they should have brought over things like GTA 5, Half-Life Alyx, Boneworks. There's a lot of big directions they could go in. I mean, fair enough, GTA 5, there is no official VR version of GTA 5. So if they announced that, that would be a big thing. However, Half-Life Alyx already exists. Boneworks already exists. Why they didn't have that ready to announce, why they haven't made partnerships and agreements with these developers, I don't know. Deej says Firewall day one, and I'm all in. Good man, Deej. Tradition says you said 21st yourself in relation to the Firewall Ultra trailer numbers. There you go. It was that screenshot that showed the numbers 21, 02, 23. Or was it just 2102? Either way, eerily close. It was a day off. Billy Lawhorn says that's as high as the console. I'm on a fixed income. That's more expensive than the console. For me, the console, I think. How much did I pay for the PS5? I bought it on Amazon, so it was like shipping expenses involved as well. But I think this is going to be more expensive for me than the PS5 was. It's a peripheral for the PS5, and it's more expensive than the PS5. And I know there's reasons for that. I know the technology is way better. I know it has controllers. But average Joe doesn't know that. Average Joe doesn't give a shit about that. He sees it as a peripheral that costs more than the actual thing itself. He's going to say, pfft, and then he's going to watch these trailers and be like, what's this baby game? What is this baby Quest 2 game? Get this Quest 2 shit out of here. Fozzie Bear says, I can't afford a PS5, let alone another $550 for a headset. That's understandable. The only reason I can afford this is because when I had the Patreon, I saved that money up. And I might have to contribute some of my own money as well, because I don't know if I have the 600. Coughing like Minus. Minus keeps telling me to smoke it up. So I've been smoking it up and my lungs are getting all messed up. I thought the attic man got you. It was actually an attic woman. And when I told her, I said, listen, please, they've just revealed PSVR 2 details. Just give me a couple hours and I'll be right back up. And she said, fine, you can go down. Priscilla Quinn says, I think it seems like Sony thinks Village and Horizon will sell this headset. And in some ways they're right. That's what's got me most hyped. Horizon, Village, possibly Resident Evil 4. We don't know what that content is yet. And something else. There's another one. Firewall, obviously. How have we not seen Gran Turismo 7? How was that not revealed today? This is insane. Where's the first party? Where is the first party? Indie Soul, I got my email to pre-order. Awesomeness. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that people are excited to pre-order. I just hope there's a lot of people like you today, Indie, and not just enthusiasts. Fozzie says disc version is $500 for PS5. Yes, it is. But when I paid for it, I paid for it online. There was extra charges involved. Priscilla Quinn says, I see. It's all about tax return time. We don't get those over here. Eric Davis. Big Pump, how you doing, Eric? And Mech Venom. PP. I assume everyone has heard the news by now. What's the general consensus? Hold on. Let's do a poll. Ask your community. Are you happy with today's PSVR 2 news as a whole? Are you happy with the price, the release days, when you can pre-order, and the 11 games that they're showing off, we assume, for a roughly launch period? Are you happy with that? Billy Longhorn says, if I do, Firewall will be a must. Absolutely. If they added like a Firewall trailer to this blog, and by the way, it's a blog post again. Why couldn't this have been a state of play? This would have been a hype state of play. They could have, announced, by the way, on what day is today? Wednesday, the 2nd of November, we're going to do a state of play where we're going to reveal details for PSVR 2. It's going to be focused on PSVR 2. They got 11 games. They had 11 games to show. Not great games. Alright? Not fantastic games. Fine games. Okay games, They had those in the bag. But most importantly, they had the important information, the release dates, the price, pre-order details. This could have all been an exciting state of play. But no, it's VR, so we relegate it to a blog post. It doesn't deserve a state of play. Sony, I need you to start stepping up and putting some faith behind your own vision. Eric Davis says, only reason I can afford this is because the man makes me work 130 hours a day. 130 hours a day. God damn, Eric Davis is working hard. Poor Eric. Mech Venom says, agreed. And so far, with 11 votes, 64% of you are happy, but 36% of you are not, and that's not negligible, That's something. It's a third. A third of people not happy, and all of you watching this are not average Joe, you're enthusiasts. So from a PSVR enthusiast point of view, you'd expect that to be higher. You'd expect everyone to be happy. Now, if I was to ask average Joes out there if they're happy with this, I think the poll looks very different. I think the no goes up. Big time. And you might be thinking to yourself, I don't care about average Joe. Well, you should care about average Joe, because average Joe dictates how much investment Sony put into this thing, you know? We don't want them to drop support after 2 years. We want to see first parties getting rolled in. We want to see a PSVR 3 in another 6 or 7 years. Excuse me. Oh my god. I'm not signing into that. And now after 15 votes, it's 60-40. It's a 60-40 split. Chairface says, my internet keeps dropping. Gonna have to watch later. Don't worry about it, Chairface. Priscilla Quinn says, I can only afford to buy it if the crypto market turns around. There you go. You got people relying on crypto over here. You got Eric Davis having to work 130 hours a day. 130 hours a day so he can afford this. Mech Venom. Cough Vita. There you go. Although, I will say, they supported the PSVR 1 way better than they supported the Visa, I think. Not necessarily first party wise, but they didn't kill it off. There's still PSVR 1 games coming. They announced more of them today. So, I just gotta hope that they're going to be high quality ones. What I really wanted to see as well today was hybrid games. This is the big blowout. When I was hoping to see this big blowout, which I was hoping was going to be a state of play, I was hoping to see the hybrid games. The Gran Turismo 7s, the Killzone, Shadowfall, like Enhanced Edition or whatever. Billy Lawhorn says pre-order dates the 15th of November. Mech Venom has you there. You can pre-order on the 15th of November. David Higgins, rip-off. That's too much. They will lose out on some people buying for sure, especially younger players whose parents won't spend that much. I think it is an off-putting price. A concerning price. It's justified. The technology in there is impressive. It's not cheap to make, I'm sure. Eye tracking alone is expensive. 2 controllers bundled with every headset expensive. It's full of cameras as well built into the headset. All this stuff adds up. I can understand why it's that price. However, if this thing fails, if it bombs, then they need to understand why. It's because of this price, I think. And, possibly other things. If it goes down that route. But let's hope it doesn't. Eric Davis, that's really steep. Everyday people are going to find it hard to justify this. Especially the way, like, we're about to hit another recession. The electricity bills over here are ridiculous. Gameflow Viewer says, I'm happy because it will be more worth it than PSVR 1. I use my PSVR 1 strictly for one game, which is Firewall 0 Hour. Amen. Amen, Gameflow Viewer. I'm assuming there will be a bunch of games for the PSVR 2 worth putting the headset to use. Obviously it's always going to depend on the person, but there is games there that I think are already worth buying it for. Firewall Ultra alone, if only that game released, then yes, it's still worth it for me and for Firewall fans like me and Gameflow and a few of you in the chat as well. But there's also Village, there's also Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil 4. There is heavy hitters there, just maybe not enough of them, not enough emphasis put in them. Deej, thank you very much, appreciate it. Eric S. Excuse me. We need more games announced. Also would like to know which other PSVR games coming, like Beat Saber and Blood and Truth or Squadrons. Exactly. If you're going to be talking about ports, and look, Pistol Whip and Zenith, good games, and I'm not trying to shit in them. But if you want to talk about ports, then bring the heavy hitter ports. Let's bring those, the ones you mentioned. Beat Saber. Well, Beat Saber is owned by Mesa, so maybe there's something going on there. But Blood and Truth, how is that not a port that's been confirmed? Priscilla Quinn says, hell, even something like Hellspliss Arena would probably hype me for PSVR 2, or some like Metal Gear Solid or Silent Hill VR thing, even a remake. Blade and Sorcery would have got me hype. Phasmophobia would have got me hype. There's so many PC VR games that have already proven to be critically and commercially successful that are absent here that I can't get my head around. Like if I'm a Sony guy, an executive, I don't know, you should be bending over backwards to make sure these are here. David Higgins says, doesn't matter. I see where it adds up, but the unit cost to them is nowhere near that. I mean, it depends. They could be taking a loss for all I know. For example, Xbox Series X and Series S and Series X. Microsoft are taking a $100 loss on the Series S and a $200 loss on every Series X. Even today. And Sony were taking losses on the PS5, but they turned that around in June 21. So up until June 21, Sony were losing money on every PS5 they sold. The Wolf Grays, how you doing? He says, I agree, justified price, but low initial sales are to be expected. Exactly. I mean, that the initial period is going to be for the enthusiasts who can afford it. Priscilla Quinn. Well, hopefully they can bring it like a price cut, relatively soon after launch. Priscilla Quinn says devs need to figure out a way to make the old PSVR 1 games compatible. I think it's just going to be down to a game by game basis where if they're able to update it like patches or not. And D says a lot of people like me will await on the price to drop. Well overpriced for what it is, says Aunt D. See? Aunt D is interviewer. Aunt D is an enthusiast of virtual reality. And he's waiting for a price drop. And that's completely understandable and reasonable. But concerning. I remember the PS3. How that launched at I think, was that 600 as well? Euro? I think it cost me 600 euro to buy that. And the sales were so sluggish in the first 2 years that there was price cuts. Was there price cuts fairly rapid? I don't know. But it might be a case of, it might be smarter to wait for a price cut like Aunt D. Because that initial price is fairly scary. Not as scary in the US version where it's $549. It's kind of it's easier on the eye. But in Europe, that's 600 euro. That's ugly. Tradition says, if everything we know about VR2 was kept a secret and revealed today in a state of play with specs, Firewall, Resident Evil, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, we wouldn't care about the weak titles and even the price would seem more lubricated. I agree 100%. What that says is that there is already enough software there to soften the blow. But it also says that Sony are, the marketing department or whoever's making the decisions there, how can they not see this? How do they not see this? Tradition can see it. I can see it. Most of you can see it. Look at the poll now. After 21 votes, it's getting more like 50-50. We're 57-43. It's evening out a bit. Eric S. says, before pre-order, we should get more gameplay revealed from Firewall Ultra since that will be my go-to game. I'm certain we will. I'm certain we'll see gameplay and stuff before that game releases. Fozzie Bear says, I wouldn't be surprised by a price drop. You know what I can see happening? The bundles. The Horizon bundle, that is an extra $50 or €50. I can see that extra 50 being wiped off. That's how they'll start. If things go bad, if it's not moving off the shelves, I can see that'll be their first, call to action. And it shouldn't affect them too much. It's a first party game and it's just a digital code in the box. If you ask me, every single PSVR 2 should be bundled with Horizon Call of the Mountain at no additional cost. Same as PSVR Worlds 1 should have been bundled at no additional cost. It's crazy to me that game was €40 or $40, whatever. Anyway, lads and ladies, I'm aware that I'm coming across maybe too negative, which is not intentional. I am still excited. I do have to remind myself Firewall is already announced. Resident Evil is already announced. The Walking Dead, like Tradition said, all these games already announced. However, just looking at today by itself, combining the games and maybe that price, it's a bit of a oof. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. with that said, lads and ladies, I think I will end the stream. After reading Priscilla Quinn's message saying, yeah, I'm totally planning on waiting for a PS5/PSVR 2 bundle. I'm not in a rush. If they're smart, they'll do one of those bundles. But yeah, listen, thanks very much for watching. If you catch this after it goes live, let me know what you think in the comments below once it finishes rendering and all that shit. Processing, as YouTube likes to take a while doing that. Anyway, I'll talk to you. I'll see you around. We want to continue the conversation, do it in the comments below. If you haven't been here before, hit the like button, maybe the subscribe button. We'll be covering more PSVR 2 stuff and Firewall Ultra stuff going forward. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
What the fuck is this?